All right, everybody, welcome to another deep dive. And today we are talking about something that I don't know about you, but I find surprisingly fascinating, and that is YouTube's content guidelines.
Yeah.
We're talking about all the stuff
Right.
that YouTube doesn't want you to see. And,
Yeah.
when you hear content guidelines, you think,
Yeah.
oh, boy, this is going to be dry.
Right.
But trust me, we found some really interesting stuff
Well,
going through all of this.
Yeah, these guidelines are like the rule book for the biggest show on earth, right? I mean, YouTube has billions of users worldwide.
Yeah.
And these rules really shape what we all end up seeing and probably how we see the world, too.
Okay, so let's dive in.
Yeah.
So the source material breaks down all the no-nos, like the stuff that you really just can't put on YouTube.
Right.
And some is pretty obvious, you know, like no glorifying violence.
Right. But even something as straightforward as that can get a little complicated. I mean, YouTube allows news coverage of violence, but with restrictions, of course. So it's kind of like they're trying to find the line between, legitimate journalism and just sensationalizing violence, which sometimes is not so easy to do.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about hate speech?
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, that just feels...
That's a tough one.
Like a minefield.
It really is. Defining hate speech online is like nailing Jell-O to a wall.
Yeah.
It's always changing, and what's offensive to one person might be, satire to another, or social commentary even.
Right.
So YouTube has to balance protecting people from harassment while also not censoring legitimate expression.
Yeah, and that makes you realize how much is going on behind the scenes at YouTube.
Absolutely.
That we just don't even think about.
Constant work.
Yeah. So what other kind of stuff is on this no-no list?
Well, they're really focused on anything harmful or dangerous.
Oh.
This includes stuff like videos that promote self-harm or dangerous pranks or, those unsafe viral challenges.
Oh, yeah, those viral challenges used to be so dangerous.
Oh, yeah. You remember that Tide Pod challenge?
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, talk about irresponsible, right?
Yeah, it seems like YouTube's trying to stay ahead of the curve on that stuff.
Right. I mean, they're constantly having to monitor trends and update their policies to deal with new threats. And it's not just about physical harm either. They're worried about the psychological impact, too.
Yeah.
Especially on younger viewers.
Especially younger viewers.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where I confess.
Okay.
I have totally fallen for clickbait titles before.
Oh, I think we all have.
Those you won't believe what happens next kind of videos.
Yeah.
Does YouTube have a rule against that stuff?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They have a whole section on spam, scams, and misleading content. And that includes clickbait titles and thumbnails, that are designed to trick you into clicking.
So it's not just preventing harmful content. It's also kind of promoting honesty and transparency.
Exactly.
I like that.
And it's all tied into a bigger issue.
Okay.
Misinformation.
Right.
YouTube takes medical misinformation really seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Because that can have real-world consequences.
Totally. Spreading false medical information can be super dangerous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads into a category that you might think is more clear-cut.
Okay.
Adult content and nudity.
Right.
Generally, it's restricted.
Okay.
But there are exceptions for educational or documentary content.
Okay.
So again, it all comes down to context and intent.
So there's a human element to this.
Yeah.
It's not just like
for sure
algorithms making these decisions.
Right. It's a combination of technology and human review.
Got it.
So algorithms can flag potential problems, but ultimately human moderators make the final call.
That can't be an easy job.
No.
What about things like copyright infringement?
Yeah.
Child safety, animal abuse.
Yeah, those are areas where the ethical considerations are much more clear-cut.
Right.
YouTube has very strict rules against anything that violates copyright or endangers children, promotes animal cruelty, or encourages irresponsible use of weapons.
Okay, so we've covered a lot here, but I got to ask.
Yeah.
What about the gray areas?
Oh, yeah.
Where does satire end and hate speech begin?
Right.
How does YouTube balance protecting children
while
also allowing for educational content about sensitive topics?
Well, those are the million-dollar questions.
Yeah.
These guidelines are always evolving as new technologies come out, new forms of content come out.
Right.
And as societal norms change, so YouTube's always trying to adapt. To find that balance between protecting its users and allowing for free expression.
Okay, so all of this being said, why should our listeners care?
Well, first of all, whether you make videos yourself or just watch them, these guidelines impact what you see and the community you're a part of on YouTube.
Right. So understanding these guidelines helps you understand how the platform works and the decisions that are being made behind the scenes.
It's like knowing the rules of the road even if you're not driving.
Exactly.
You need to know how traffic flows to navigate safely.
Exactly. And beyond that, it encourages all of us to think critically about what we're seeing and what we're sharing.
Okay.
So ask yourself, is this information accurate?
Right.
Is it respectful?
Yeah.
Is it intended to mislead or manipulate?
Yeah.
That's what we should all be thinking about.
That's such a good point. And it leaves us with a really interesting question to ponder.
What's that?
As technology continues to evolve at this crazy pace, how will platforms like YouTube adapt their guidelines to keep up?
Yeah.
How do we balance that freedom of expression with the need to protect users, especially children, from harmful content?
Yeah, it's a conversation that's going to keep going.
It really should.
As technology changes. Absolutely. And we'll be here for it.
We'll be here.
All right, that's going to do it for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.